What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Jack Della Maddalena has issued a serious warning to Islam Makhachev, confidently vowing to finish him and shock the world. The Australian contender said he's fighting, not only for himself, but also for Alexander Volkanovski and all of Australia. Jack made it clear that he doesn't see Islam as an untouchable lightweight legend, but simply as another man in his division, one he fully believes he can beat anywhere the fight goes. What makes his statement even bolder is his belief that he can surprise Islam in the grappling exchanges, an area where Makhachev has dominated nearly everyone. Jack emphasized that his strength and technical grappling could throw Islam off his game, saying he's confident his approach will expose holes in Makhachev's usual control-heavy style. Meanwhile, Paddy Pimblett has added fuel to the fire, backing Della Maddalena to batter Makhachev, and even calling out Islam to return to lightweight if he wants to settle things properly. The hype surrounding this potential clash has skyrocketed, with fans calling UFC 322 one of the most anticipated events in recent memory. This fight carries massive stakes. If Islam Makhachev wins, many believe he'll move toward a blockbuster showdown with Ilia Topuria at 170 pounds. But if he loses, the door opens for a high-profile redemption bout against former welterweight king Kamaru Usman, a matchup that would still capture global attention despite the setback. Jack Della Maddalena, calm yet focused, said he envisions nothing less than a spectacular finish. "I just see a finish happening. I see the crowd going wild and my corner going berserk." When asked what Islam might be underestimating, he replied, "Maybe the grappling. I think he believes he can take me down, hold me there, and submit me, but I think I'll surprise him." Despite acknowledging Islam as one of the best fighters in the world, Jack remains unfazed. "I don't see it as him moving up a weight class. I see it as him coming to fight me in my division. It's the toughest fight of my career, but I feel good. I've got the right game plan. Now it's just about putting it all together on the night." Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for latest MMA updates. We truly value your support and needs your help to grow. Move on to another news. Khabib Nurmagomedov's longtime training partner, Josh Thompson, has shared key insights into Islam Makhachev's preparation ahead of UFC 322, giving fans a clear picture of how dangerous the Dagestani champion looks going into his welterweight debut. According to Thompson, Islam is sharper, faster, and more dominant than ever before, a statement that carries real weight coming from someone who has trained with him for years. Islam himself has spoken respectfully about his opponent, Jack Della Maddalena, praising the Australian's composure under pressure and his ability to stay calm even in tough grappling situations. While Makhachev admits Jack's wrestling may not be elite, he recognizes that Della Maddalena's striking and boxing are world-class. Islam noted that even when Jack gets taken down, he never panics or gives up bad positions, a quality that makes him a difficult opponent for anyone. Now, after 4 dominant lightweight title defenses, the most in the division's history, Islam is chasing greatness at 170 pounds. But he faces a true challenge in Maddalena, who hasn't lost in 18 consecutive fights and recently shocked the MMA world by defeating Bilal Muhammad to capture the welterweight title earlier this year. Both men are entering UFC 322 with immense momentum, making it one of the most anticipated events of the year. Josh Thompson, who knows Islam's style better than most, believes Makhachev will get the job done, but he acknowledges that this fight is far more dangerous than Islam's bout with Dustin Poirier. "I'm obviously leaning toward Islam," Josh said, "not just because he's my friend, but because I think the weight cut won't drain him like it did at lightweight. That will make a huge difference in the later rounds." Thompson highlighted Islam's elite conditioning and ground game, saying that a fresh Makhachev is absolutely insane. He added that Islam's submission arsenal, from guillotines and darce chokes to kimuras and anacondas, "I've seen him give elite grapplers fits," Josh recalled. "They couldn't sweep him, couldn't get him off them. He's always attacking, always improving positions." Confident in his prediction, Thompson concluded that Islam's well-rounded dominance will likely earn him a finish around the second round. Move on to another news. Dana White has officially broken his silence on the ongoing UFC betting and fight-fixing scandal that's been making major headlines. Speaking candidly, the UFC president detailed exactly how the situation unfolded and directly addressed the rumors surrounding an alleged FBI investigation. According to Dana, around 1:00 p.m. on the day in question, the UFC was contacted by one of the top bet monitoring companies in the world regarding suspicious betting activity on a specific fight. The organization immediately reached out to the fighter involved and his legal team to ask whether he was injured, in debt, or had been approached by anyone with suspicious intentions. The fighter denied everything, insisting he was fully healthy and ready to dominate. The bout went ahead and ended in a first-round rear naked choke, and immediately afterward, Dana says the UFC's first move was to contact the FBI. White confirmed that he met with the FBI twice in a single day to discuss the matter. However, he strongly refuted claims circulating online that hundreds hundreds of UFC fights are under investigation, calling such reports total clickbait BS. Dana specifically called out MMA journalist Ariel Helwani, accusing him of twisting the story for attention and sensational headlines. Dana made it clear that the UFC has long taken betting integrity extremely seriously. The organization has worked closely with IC 360, the industry's leading integrity monitoring firm, which provides detailed reports after every single event. He added that while there was an older investigation from several years ago still ongoing, this new situation would now be folded into that process. White emphasized that while no official proof yet confirms the fight was fixed, the betting activity looked suspicious and may have stemmed from the fighter's side. He also criticized fighters who have recently come forward claiming they were approached for betting or fixing, but never reported. If someone comes up to you asking to rob a bank, you call law enforcement, Dana said. So why wouldn't you report being approached to fix a fight? He concluded by saying that the FBI is now directly involved and that any fighter who claims to have been approached will be contacted. Dana closed firmly, reiterating that the UFC will continue to protect the sport's integrity and that misinformation won't go unchecked. Move on to another news. Ariel Helwani has officially responded to Dana White's recent comments regarding the ongoing betting scandal and the accusations of clickbait journalism. In a recent appearance, Helwani addressed Dana's remarks head-on, reigniting a rivalry that many thought had finally cooled off. Just a few weeks ago, both men shocked fans by seemingly attempting to bury the hatchet after years of public tension. However, that brief truce appears to have ended as quickly as it began. After Dana publicly slammed one of Helwani's reports about fight-fixing investigations as clickbait BS, Ariel fired back, explaining that his coverage was based on credible information and not sensationalism. If Dana's taking shots at me again, Helwani said, that means I'm doing something right. Helwani's report claimed that more than 100 fights are currently under review for potential fixing, a figure that Dana strongly denied. But Ariel defended his story, saying that several fighters themselves had publicly admitted on social media that they'd been approached about suspicious betting activities. In his view, that alone justifies deeper scrutiny from both the UFC and federal investigators. It's not like I made it up, Helwani insisted. There's clear reason for the FBI to be looking into this. The renewed conflict between the UFC president and the veteran journalist adds another layer of chaos to what's already been a turbulent few weeks for the sport. Between controversial eye-poke incidents involving Tom Aspinall and Paulo Costa, and now the shadow of a betting scandal, the UFC has been under intense public and media pressure. Despite the criticism, Helwani maintained a composed stance, saying that his only goal is to report facts and keep the sport accountable. I've been doing this for years, he said. People know my track record. I report what's real, not rumors. The Dana-Ariel feud, it seems, is far from over. Fans are now left debating who's in the right this time. Dana White defending the UFC's integrity and calling out what he sees as irresponsible reporting, or Ariel Helwani standing by his journalism and arguing that transparency serves the sport better. Move on to another news. Paddy Pimblett erupted after Islam Makhachev's recent comments dismissing him as undeserving of a title shot. Makhachev had suggested others, Armen or Gaethje, deserved the next opportunity, arguing Pimblett hadn't faced the same level of opposition and questioning who he had really beaten to merit a title run. Pimblett didn't hold back in his response. In a fiery UFC video, he defended his resume and challenged Makhachev's remarks head-on, saying he'd welcome the chance to prove himself. I hope JDM absolutely batters him. JDM's a much better boxer. If he can keep it on the feet, he'll absolutely batter him, and I hope he does. Turning the criticism back on Islam, Pimblett referenced past victories and taunted the champion's lightweight credentials. When he asked, "Who have I beat?" Remember, he got a title shot off beating Bobby Green, someone I beat faster than him. So get back down to lightweight and I'll punch your head then as well. Pimblett's tone mixed bravado with a clear intent. He wants respect and a chance to settle the score in the cage. His message was equal parts personal and professional, defending his record, calling out perceived hypocrisy, and daring Makhachev to return to lightweight if he wants a definitive answer. The exchange adds another combustible layer to an increasingly heated division, where words now threaten to become the prelude to another high-stakes matchup. Move on to another news. Former UFC bantamweight bantamweight champion, Aljamain Sterling, has given fans a much-anticipated update on his next fight. During a recent appearance on Yanti the MMA Hour and with Ariel Helwani, Sterling revealed that he's targeting a return to the octagon around February or March of next year. Discussing his recovery and preparation, Sterling explained that he recently underwent stem cell treatment in Mexico at Rejuva Stem to help his body fully heal after years of grueling competition. "I just got these stem cells done down in Mexico," Aljo said. "They took great care of me down there. I actually wanted to get it done earlier so I could maybe fight in December, but the timing just didn't work out." He went on to describe how teammate Rob's fight schedule and his own personal commitments delayed the process. "Rob had his fight in October, and I wanted to wait until after his fight and after my wedding, but then he said he had another fight coming up, and I realized I just needed to get this procedure done now," Sterling explained. Now focused on recovery, Sterling made it clear that rushing back in December isn't realistic. "At this point, I don't think I'll have enough time to prepare properly for a December return," he said. "So it's looking like February or March, depending on what the UFC offers and how my body feels after the treatment." Sterling's decision to take a measured approach reflects his emphasis on long-term performance and health. After years of intense fights and title defenses, he appears committed to coming back at 100% rather than forcing a premature return. Fans have been speculating about potential opponents, including rematches and possible moves up in weight, but Sterling hasn't confirmed any names yet. For now, the former champion is prioritizing his recovery and staying patient for the right opportunity. "I'm feeling good, motivated, and ready to start building back up," Sterling added. "Once I'm fully recovered, I'll be back in there to remind everyone why they call me the Funk Master." Move on to another news. Merab Dvalishvili recently addressed rumors about a potential super fight with former featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski, shutting down the speculation, for now. After his dominant performance against Corey Sandhagen, fans began buzzing about the idea of Dvalishvili facing Volkanovski in a crossover bout. However, during a recent appearance on Michael Bisping's Believe You May podcast, Merab made it clear that such a fight isn't on his radar at the moment, although he didn't rule it out completely for the future. "I'm good where I'm at right now," Dvalishvili said. "I have so much respect and love for Alexander Volkanovski. I could never challenge him at this point. He's a great person, a great fighter, and a great father. My focus is still on my division. I have tough opponents like Petr Yan ahead, and I'm sure the UFC will continue to line up strong challenges for me. If one day I've beaten everyone in my weight class and there's nothing left to prove, maybe you'll consider moving." Dvalishvili also discussed his mindset heading into his upcoming rematch with Petr Yan, expected at UFC 323. He believes that Yan will return as a better version of himself, but feels he's also evolved significantly since their first encounter. "Yes, that's the goal, to be even more dominant this time," he said. "In the first fight, I was nervous and under pressure. Fighting someone like Petr Yan comes with expectations and stress. If Merab Dvalishvili defeats Petr Yan again and continues to defend his title, potentially 4 times in a single year, he could set himself up for one of the most impressive championship runs in UFC bantamweight history, possibly leading to major super fights in 2026. Move on to another news. Nate Diaz has officially accepted Jake Paul's boxing challenge, reigniting talks of a highly anticipated rematch between the two. The situation unfolded after Jake Paul's scheduled fight against Gervonta Davis was abruptly canceled due to serious allegations against Davis. Following the cancellation, speculation quickly began over who Jake's next opponent might be, with names like Nate Diaz and Francis Ngannou circulating online. Tensions escalated when Jake Paul and Ngannou exchanged words on social media, fueling fan excitement about a potential crossover fight. However, the storyline took another turn when Nate Diaz entered the picture. In a bold move, Diaz posted a photo on Instagram from his first bout with Jake Paul, showing himself landing a punch, alongside the caption, "Fight accepted." Earlier that morning, Jake Paul responded on his own Instagram, praising Nate's willingness to step up but downplaying the likelihood of the fight happening. Nate Diaz is a G. Jake wrote, "It isn't meant to be, but respect for being willing to step up on 2 weeks' notice. So many at the top of this sport have excuses." While Jake's response seemed to close the door on the fight for now, Diaz's public acceptance appears to be a strategic move to rally fan support and pressure Jake into making the rematch a reality. The first Paul vs. Diaz fight was one of the most talked about crossover events in recent boxing history, and fans have been calling for a second showdown ever since. However, Jake Paul seems to be more focused on chasing a bigger spectacle, possibly against heavyweight powerhouse Francis Ngannou. From his perspective, a bout with Ngannou might bring more hype, mainstream attention, and pay-per-view sales. Still, Nate Diaz's loyal fan base and his cult-like following in both MMA and boxing make the rematch a commercially strong option. As of now, Jake Paul hasn't officially confirmed his next opponent, but with Diaz's challenge on the table and fans rallying behind it, pressure is mounting. The big question remains, will Jake Paul give Nate Diaz the rematch he's asking for? Or will he continue to pursue a blockbuster fight with Francis Ngannou instead?